Now that that is solved, let's get back to this episode. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the live. We are ending out the week this week with a very special episode. Today, we are spotlighting 4 of our signature ambassadors and their buildings, you guys. We have Mr. Jerry Robertson, James Stewart, Joe Manucci, and Blaise Malonson. Mr. Joe, I'm so sorry if I have mispronounced your last name. Please forgive me on that. However, these are our 4 ambassadors. First off, thank you so much for being a Mallett customer, and then thank you for taking it a step further and being a Mallett ambassador. We are very appreciative of this and all that you do. I have my trusty phone here for the comments. Mr. Tim, thank you so much. I fixed the audio. Let me know if there are any more issues, and we will continue as usual. But we're going to highlight 4 builds, but as always, let's hop into the usual content. Audio is very low. Let me go ahead and see, Mr. Tim. We can always fix that. It is just me up here today, but no worries. Sorry about that, you guys. We are going to be fixing some technical difficulties. Please bear with us. Hello. All right. It seems that we are going to have some technical difficulties, you guys. Please, again, bear with us. I'm going to go ahead and play a quick video, and then we will hop back into this. Thank you for your patience, and for the 3rd time and hopefully the last, let me go ahead and introduce the show, you guys. Thank you for your patience, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. It is Thursday and today is a very special day. Today we're going to be spotlighting 4 of our amazing signature ambassadors as well as welcoming them to the Ambassador Club. We have Mr. Jerry Robertson, James Stewart, Joe Manucci, and Blaise Malonson. Mr. Joe, I'm so sorry if I have butchered your last name. Please forgive me. However, that being said, welcome to the Signature Ambassador Club, and I cannot wait to show off your builds today. Here's a little spotlight of what we'll be getting ourselves into today. Beautiful buildings, 4 buildings, different specs, all the good things that happen with a Mallett build. But as always, let's hop into the first part of the show. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll get to this here soon. Now, as always, we want to talk about where's Mallett. We are in 86 locations as of Monday. It is many, many more than that. However, here's where we were when we started the week. In Louisiana, we have 63 jobs going on in construction on the ground, forming, fill sand, concrete, finishers, red tags, inspections, the whole gambit, you guys. And as you can see, we are pretty much filling this southern part of Louisiana. I'm very proud of that. Almost across the whole I-10 corridor, all the way to Ruston, Shreveport, in the Kisatchie Forest, down to New Orleans and Slidell. So many different features and buildings going on, you guys. In Texas, we have 20 jobs. Again, the same processes we have in construction on the ground, forming, concrete, fill sand, finishers, red tags, everything that's part of a Mallett process is going on here. And we are hitting this whole southeastern portion of Texas. Incredibly proud of that. Now, moving right along, we've seen where's Mallett. Let's talk about why Mallett, you guys. If you've been here at any amount of time, you've seen this, and it is a wonderful, ever-changing series of information. So let's go ahead and give you the updates. So we have our rival series, and what we mean by that is this is our building series that we have created to combat the competition. Well, I hate saying that because as the leader of the post frame industry, it's hard to say there's competition. However, the truth of the matter is there are other people who offer post frame buildings, but let's go ahead and tell you what a lot of them end up building and why we did the rival series. Let's start with the why. We have the rival series, again, to combat that. And if you just want a budget building, something that'll get the job done, something that I need 4 walls and a roof and I need to cover my stuff now, this is a good building. Now, we're gonna get to the Mallett Classic building and talk about why that's a great structure here soon, but let's get to the rival series. It's gonna have 29 gauge metal, a 4-on-12 roof pitch with 2x6 trusses. It's gonna be common flat trusses because that is what a lot of the industry standard is around here. And that's gonna be a 130-mile-an-hour wind rated building, no uplift control, so the Mallett cable lock system, we're not gonna have it on the rival series. This is part of that budget process we were talking about. The posts are gonna go straight into the dirt or gravel. We're not gonna worry about concrete pads for the rival. Again, this is just a building to get the job done. You're also gonna have 2x8 headers instead of a 2x12 header like the Mallett building has. You're gonna have 3,000 PSI concrete. We're not gonna give any skirt boards, saving some money there. And we're gonna have a limited warranty as well as using #2 untreated generic lumber. This is gonna save a lot of money here. So as we're saying, you guys, we have lots of features here that contribute to this budget building we were talking about. This is what a lot of the industry in our area is using, and this is a built to code building. We talked about that yesterday and pretty much the entire week between engineering standards, oversight, and code, but this will get the job done. Again, if you want 4 walls, a door, and a roof, here you go. This is the option for you. But if you want something a little more, if the bare minimum is not going to get the job done for you and you care about quality, craftsmanship, legacy, and time length of a building, I have something for you, and here's where we are for just a few $1,000s more, you guys. The difference in the rival series and the Mallett Classic, and as I should say, the difference in the other guys and Mallett is not that much when it comes to price, but let me tell you, the features and standards are far different in comparison, and let's hop into that. As you can see here, we're gonna have 26 gauge metal. That's gonna be standard on every building, as is the 5-on-12 roof pitch. 5-on-12 is far superior than a 4-on-12 simply because the angle of the building of the roof allows for shedding of water, debris, say hail, leaves, anything like that, and it prevents clogging up on the roof, which, as Mr. Trent was explaining earlier this week, say you have a pile of leaves that just sit on the roof. Well, that sitting on the roof is gonna compile water, debris, all this other things, and eventually it's gonna cause leaks and destruction of the roof of your building, and that eventually ruins everything inside the building. When you have a 5-on-12 roof pitch, the odds of that happening are far, far lower. You're also gonna have 2x8 cathedral trusses. That's gonna be the scissor trusses that we manufacture here in-house. Not only do we manufacture and engineer our own trusses, the entire building is engineered with that in mind. So you're not just getting pre-built trusses from a third party like everyone else around here does, because we are one of the only truss plants in the state. That being said, we engineer everything from the top to the bottom to make sure you have the best building possible. These trusses are also going to be third-party inspected. We have outside sources that come in and inspect everything, the wood, the truss plant, the trusses we create. Everything that's part of the process here is inspected by a third party to ensure maximum quality and to make sure we're doing what we say we're doing. Excuse me. You're also going to have a 170-mile-an-hour wind rating on the roof system and a 140-mile-an-hour wind rating on the building itself. So between the engineering quality of the roof, you have the cathedral trusses, you have the 2x12 headers, and a slew of other things. This is all going to come together to create a 170-mile-an-hour wind load rating on the roof system, which is far superior to anything else you're going to find in the business. Moving right along, we have the Mallett cable lock system. This is that uplift control. What is uplift? Say you leave the door open or a window breaks or you have a malfunction in a door because in high wind scenarios like hurricanes, that happens. We live in Louisiana or Texas or Mississippi or Arkansas, wherever you may be building in our area. You understand this stuff happens. But when this stuff does happen, you are safe because you have the Mallett cable lock system. And what that does is it holds the building down. This is the uplift control. So when that wind rushes in, it's not going to be able to push up because wind wants to find a way to go. And it's going to try and go up and out, pulling the building up. And if you're like many of those who don't have the Mallett cable lock system, you're going to lose the building. Now, the cable lock system itself is a series of 1/8 inch aircraft cable that goes post to post around the entire building, attached with lag bolts, and it ties off to the eye bolt at the end of it, and that's at the base of every post. Now on top of that, you're going to have the concrete slab, which in this case is a 4-inch, 4,000 PSI concrete slab. And the dead weight of that slab is going to press down on all of these cables holding the building down. So not only will the wind have to take the weight of the building, it'll have to pull the entire slab up as well. And in our 27 years of business, we have not had that happen once. We've never lost a single building to a hurricane with the Mallett cable lock system. So that is something we're incredibly proud of. As proof, the building I'm standing in now on the 2nd floor, I might add, has been here through 16 hurricanes, and still going strong. There's a 3rd story, 2nd story, 1st story, obviously, and all of it has been here through all 27 years of hurricanes. The Mallett cable lock system has a huge part to play in that. Now, there's also going to be that concrete under every post that we talked about. We're going to take an 80-pound bag of concrete and make that a pad underneath every 6x6 post we put in the ground. This is going to help prevent unwanted settling, shifting, moving, and all the things that happen when you just put the post in the ground. Now, you're going to have the skirt board guards for ground protection. That's the additional piece of wood that goes at the base of every building, if it's a Mallett building, and that's going to help prevent for deterioration and everything that happens at the base of the building on the skirt board. You're going to have a 4-year workmanship warranty as an entry-level warranty. Our signature buildings, which we'll be talking about today, all come with a 6-year workmanship warranty, and the elite building, which is our top-tier building, has a 10-year workmanship warranty, which is unheard of in our industry. Now, every piece of wood we use is going to be #1 MCA ground-treated kiln-dried lumber, not just at the base, not just for the posts, not just for what's touching the ground and the concrete, but even the trusses are going to be #1 MCA ground-treated kiln-dried lumber. So from the roof to the base, it's going to be kiln-dried and treated through and through. Mr. Trent did a phenomenal job of explaining the importance of kiln drying and not using wet wood as most other people do. And that is a huge difference, not only in quality, but strength and longevity as well. So very, very important. The cost, Mr. Tim's saying the cost difference is minor. The quality difference is significant between the rival and the classic. Very much so, Mr. Tim, and I hope this is doing a good job of explaining that. And this is just our entry-level building. Now, on top of all of that, we have in-house engineering oversight, which we did a deep dive into yesterday. I highly encourage you to check that out. I saw that the title of this video is still called that, although this is not engineering oversight. We talked about that yesterday, so please tune into that if you missed it, but wait till after this video is over because we've got some good stuff coming. Now, that's why Mallett. Now, if you're looking to build your own Mallett building and get involved in the family, we want to make sure you get your $500 off if you are a healthcare worker, first responder, military personnel, or a teacher, educator, because we want to say thank you for what you do. Now, you can also comment cash on a video just like this. I want to see everyone comment in cash if you think about buying a Mallett building, whether it be tomorrow, which is ideal because we have some cool specials going on, which are coming up here soon. But you can also, if you're buying a year, 2, 3 years down the road, comment cash now because you never know when you may need a building because you want to get protection for your investments. Now, that being said, you'll get $1,000 off your elite or signature building when you comment cash. And I'm going to talk about the signature buildings today. Now, this does not apply to specials or promotional prices. However, the specials and promotions are so good, you're not going to need that $1,000, and I'll tell you why, because here's the February specials and promotions. Now, what we're running this month, any classic building, which we just talked about, is going to receive free single bubble insulation throughout the entire thing. Here in the South, we know how important insulation is because it's hot, cold, windy, stormy, blizzard, and perfect fishing weather all in the same day. Now, that being said, the Classic we talked about comes with all of these features, as well as a roll-up door. The concrete is included, 4-inch, 4,000 PSI, and a 4-year workmanship warranty. Now, if you want to get a 30 by 40 by 12, originally it'd be $32,389, but we have it on special this month and the free installation for $29,499. So not only are we dropping prices on the Classics, you're getting the free installation for the month of February only, just in time for the events coming up here in the summer. Stay nice and cool. Now, speaking of nice and cool, we have the Cajun Oasis as well, and this has got to be my favorite building personally because it comes with everything. All you have to do is hook the electrical up and you're good to go. Now, what does it come with for $49,999? Let me tell you, you get a 30 by 50 by 12. It includes insulation as well. This is always included in the Cajun Oasis, as well as the climate control package, electrical package, and a 5-ton heating and cool unit. As you can see here, it's a wall-mounted unit. Now, this unit and electrical package are a $16,000 value for free. It is thrown in the price. It is not added extra. And look how beautiful this building is. If you have ever been to our property here, you've seen plenty of these Cajun Oasis because we use them as office space, which is just one of the features, one of the things you can use this building for. You could also use it as a home gym, a study, an outhouse, not that kind of outhouse, but a separate living area for maybe an in-law suite, or you can do as a workshop or a game room. The possibilities are endless. Anything you can fit in 1,500 square feet, you can do in this building, and you can have heating and cooling already included. Now, if you need a little more, we mentioned we have our Elite package. This is the top tier building right here, the Cajun Oasis Elite. It comes with all the same features, the same $16,000 value. However, for only $10,000 difference, let me tell you what you get. As you can see here, there's some few differences between this building, and that's just what you can see. What you can see is the optional wainscoting. You also get 2 3x5 windows, a roll-up door, and a walk-through door. This is a 10x10 and a 36-inch walk-through door. You also get gutters. You also get post protectors. You also get 6-inch 4,000 PSI concrete with microfiber and control joints if you choose to do so. You still get this side-mounted unit here, the 5-ton unit. You're also going to get closer truss spacing. You're going to get closer post spacing. You're going to get 150 mile an hour wind rated building. I actually believe it's gone up. I think I heard them saying 160 the other day, but don't quote me on that. Please make sure you ask the engineers. But that's just a few of the features of the Mallett Elite building. If you have any questions on that or want to know what's included in each of the prices, just comment Elite and we'll go ahead and give you a full list of comparison on the chart between Classic, Signature, and Elite. And I promise you that $10,000 value, that's $10,000 difference, is a value difference because upgrading all these features to that would cost far more. Mr. Tim has said it numerous times. The value is there, and we agree with that. And look how pretty that building is. I mean, come on. Now, when you're deciding who to build your building, although we hope it's Mallett, and even if it is us, because if you want the best building, this is who you call. You call Mallett Buildings at 337-214-07, something like that, 214-0428. Had a brain fart right there. It's the end of the week, you guys. But that being said, you want to consider the 5 red flags. Red flag number 1 is years in business. Check how long they've been in business at the Secretary of State website. You can also see if they're even a licensed business because that should be step 1. If they're not a licensed business, you shouldn't consider doing business with them. That's plain and simple. Now, speaking of licensures, at the LSLBC website, you can check out contractor's license. This is to be sure that they're capable of doing the work that they're saying they can do. Whether it's commercial, residential, industrial, so be it. They have to be licensed to do that work. You can check that at the LSLBC. And while you're there, you can check out contractor violations. This is where you can see if they've broken the law, which unfortunately, to my knowledge, almost every other company in our area has some sort of contractor violation. It's a sad thing to see, but it's a true thing to see. And these are things that should be known up front. Check that at the LSLBC as well. Now, reviews on the BBB and Google. we believe in this not only because we have over 700, which we are incredibly proud of. That's over 700 people who have said, we're willing to leave a review. Whether it is good reviews, which is about 98% of them, or not so good reviews. Well, when you have over 20,000 buildings on the ground and over 700 reviews, you're gonna have a couple bad ones here and there. And we understand that not everyone has a perfect process when they're building a building. However, we'd love for you to see how those instances were handled and how the situations were remedied, because I believe even in the worst of situations, how you respond to it is a true test of character to not only the people involved, but the business behind it. So we highly encourage you to check those reviews out. And most other people don't have any reviews. If they do, they're not the best. So please be sure to check that out and let us know what you think, and hopefully we can earn a good review from you. Now, finally, visit the contractor's facility. We say this all the time, you guys. We're very, very proud of this facility. Not only because we have the truss plant, the roll form plant, the metal working area happening soon, the gutter operation, the packing plant, the loading area, the shipping area. We have a lot of stuff going on here, but most importantly, we have everyone involved in the process. We're not just a third party, call us at home kind of company. We have people on site. Everyone from scheduling to the sales associates to marketing to the people who are going to see you through the process to the people pouring the concrete, to every step of the process, someone is here to represent that phase. And we want you to go ahead and meet them because you're going to be working with them a lot whenever you're involved in the Mallett building process. And we think it's an important part of the journey to be able to say, that's who's doing my concrete, that's who's doing my gutters, that's who's doing X, Y, and Z. And plus, we just love to hang out and talk to you guys. So stop by. We're right off the I-10 interstate. If you've ever passed through Iowa, you've seen us with a big green building, and we'd be more than happy to welcome you with a smile and a handshake and just to talk about what you're going to be doing with your building. So stop by and let us know what you think. Now to the topic at hand. This is the fun part, you guys. This is what you've all been waiting for. And if you're still sticking around, thank you so much. Now, Signature Ambassador Building Spotlight. We have Mr. Jerry, Mr. James, Mr. Joe, and Mr. Blaze. Now, let's go ahead and hop into this one. We're going to start off with Mr. Jerry Robertson. His signature building is a beautiful blue building, you guys. And here are the specs for those who are watching. We have a 40 by 60 by 12 with a 14 by 60 by 9 wing. As he has a 5-on-12 truss pitch, a 5-foot truss spacing. He's going to have the 6x6 post on a 10-foot spacing. He has one walk-through door at 36 inches, and then you're going to see he has 3 10x10 doors as well as one 14x10 door, and this is going to be his building. Now, we're going to go ahead and check that out from start to finish here, so let's take a look. As always, the building materials are delivered. This is materials on site, and this is waiting for construction. There's his roll-up doors. Here's the trusses, or some of the trusses. I see some metal, some wood, some posts. It's looking real good already. Now, this is the hole for the post. As you can see, we are no less than 4 foot deep, and this is just to verify that everything is roped off, measured, and dug. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this is not much time later. As you can see, we have those 6x6 posts. He opted to upgrade to post protectors. As you can see, those are going to be in the ground as well, and those are going to provide what I consider lifetime and beyond coverage for the protection of those posts. If you ever visit their website, they say we have a 500-year protection on these posts, and this is the framing of the exterior of the building. Now, very quickly, we have the truss put into place. You can see all the different posts, all the different side panels, and these beautiful scissor trusses are added in place. Next, we're going to start wrapping the building. You see some exterior insulation before we put the metal on. Look at all that lumber, you guys. There's so much wood that's used, and it's a sturdy building. As Mr. Darrell says, it's very stout. Now, the metal has been put onto the side walls. We haven't yet gotten to the roof, but things are coming together. The building is being enclosed. There is a lot of progress happening here. You can see off to the side, the wing has been added. You can see it right here as well. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 locations for the roll-up doors as well. Now, here's the outside of the wing. I see the roof is on, all the coverings. So again, post protectors everywhere. Here's that post spacing we talked about. You can see how many posts are involved just on the wing. Beautiful. So he opted for common trusses on the wing, which is very common for gable extensions and wing extensions. The common trusses are just going to be the flat areas here, and oftentimes there's not much need for scissor trusses on these unless you opt to do so, and oftentimes it's a half truss. Just some more interior shots of the lumber. Now look at all those trusses. This is one of my favorite parts of the building process. Also, you can see the two roll-up doors that you saw from the front side, but it's just an amazing sight, a beautiful sight to behold walking into a Mallett building. You can always tell when it's a Mallett building because look at this. So here's the cable lock system. Let's go ahead and give some attention here. As you can see, you have these cables coming from every post, going diagonal, horizontal, vertical, all the way through, connecting, as I said, every post to each other, and this is going to be over the moisture barrier. So on the ground, we're going to have a moisture barrier. On top of that goes the cables, and then we're going to have the concrete on top of that. And that's going to be our uplift control. Now this is the building. It appears that the forming has been done, but no concrete yet. So they're in the forming process now, but this building is looking beautiful. It is almost fully complete, and we can't wait to see it. Now we have Mr. James Stewart, another signature building. This one is in the brilliant red with the white roof and doors and trim, and you can't beat the classic red barn look, you guys. This is a beautiful building. Now he's gonna have a 30 by 40 by 16 with two wings, one being an 8 by 40 by 13 and one being a 16 by 40 by 12. He's going to have a 512 truss pitch as well as a 5-foot truss spacing, just like the previous build. 6 by 6 posts. They're going to be common on everything. It's just what we use. The post spacing is again at 10 foot. And as you can see, he did not opt for the post protectors in this one. So again, an optional upgrade as well, just something you get included in the Elite building. But Mr. James opted not for that. But look at this property. It is beautiful. I love this build and this area. Now, continuing on the specs, he's got two 3x3 windows, a 36-inch wide walk-through door, which is standard, and two 12x12 roll-up doors, one on either side of the building. It also creates a wonderful breeze inside when both of those are open, and just an overall beautiful building. Let's take a look at the process. As always, materials show up on site and are ready to be constructed. All of the trusses, all the lumber that's going to be used. And here's the post back this way. Now here's the early stages, but it has been framed, ready, just like you saw last time. They dug the holes, mapped it out. Now the buildings, of course, are constructed based on your specs that you've signed off on. It is too late once we get here to change things because the builders are ready to build based on what we've agreed to. But as you can see, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now here's a close-up shot of all the lumber. Just look at I call it creativity. As someone who loves architecture, this is just a sight to behold. It's like you could print this and put it in a frame. It's beautiful. All the working pieces, all the connections, everything working together. You can see the truss spacing very clearly here. Now this is before the concrete. You can see there's no concrete just yet. And this is a fun area to point out something about these post frame buildings. Not many people realize that you pour the concrete after the building is constructed. So they're going to form this up and pour that concrete. And that is going to be a staple of a post frame construction, especially here at Mallett. But you can see the wings here, again, common flat trusses. No post protectors, but it's okay. Doors installed. You see all the insulation on the inside. Now here you can see the beginnings of the cable lock system. They are getting the height for it here, measuring that out. It's not yet attached, but there is the eyelet you can see here. Now here they've placed the moisture barrier before the cable lock system, and you can see some of the cables here, but what you can definitely see is the concrete being poured. They have the truck there backed up, everything's being poured. We have a phenomenal set of videos actually being scheduled, and some are actually live as we speak, talking about the concrete and the concrete process and everything you need to know about all three types of concrete pouring. Very informational, but this is the crew taking care of that. Now here we have finished pouring the concrete. Beautifully done. And this is the building. So very, very nice. Congratulations on your signature building. Now moving right along, we have Mr. Joe. We have another amazing blue and white building. Mr. Joe opted for the post protectors. You can see here very clearly his elevated pad, bringing it up just a little bit there. Now let's take a look at the specs. We have a 40 by 60 by 14 with two wings as well, one on this side, one on the other side. And they're both going to be 12 by 60 by 11, so a little bit of drop. You have a 14 here, drops to 11. The truss is going to be a 5-on-12 pitch. You're going to have 4-foot spacing. He chose to go for closer trusses, which means more trusses and a more stout build. 6 by 6 post. The post spacing is at 8 foot instead of 10 foot. So he again has opted for closer spacing. Not sure if you can tell the difference here, but those are 2 foot closer than the other buildings we've looked at. He also has 2 3x4 windows, one 36-inch walk-through door, and he has 3 10x10 roll-up doors, one here, and hopefully we can see the rest of them here shortly. But the building process begins. We have the lumber being set. You can see the posts are set in place, not yet fully attached or not fully concreted in and filled in, but they're in place, delivering some wood here. You can see the post protectors. Moving right along, you see the heavy equipment. Obviously, here's some of the trusses for the wings here. Look at the difference in these and the scissor trusses, you guys. That flat bottom as well as the pitch there, and that's going to go on the wings of the building, which is the sides of the building. Gables are typically an extension of the roof line in the front or back, and a wing is on the side. If the gable goes around the side, it becomes a hip gable. So fun little bit of knowledge nuggets for you guys. So from here, they've now added the roof, the trusses, and again, you can see here's the common flat truss. Here's our scissor trusses. The door has been framed out and installed, as have the windows. It's so cool watching this be done. Now the radiant barrier and insulating is happening here. And here is the post for the wings here. Now that the radiant barrier is on, they've started to put the metal. Get a good look at these post protectors. Now these boards are used simply to give structural support while it's being built, but once it's done, you're not going to have any need for those. And look at these 5-on-12 trusses here. Again, tons of extra headroom, beautiful to see. I love seeing the inside of these buildings. Now here's the roll-up door, but something else I like to point out is a feature that post-frame buildings have that red iron and other types of builds do not. So in order to have any extra functionality on the inside of a red iron building, you would need to frame it out and wall it, because you can't just drill into the iron. But what's cool about a post-frame building is look at all these boards here. Every one of these boards is capable to be screwed into and have attachments. You can hang things, set things, post things, whatever you want to do, or you can completely finish this out much easier. You could drywall it, you could do anything and everything you want, but you have that option here because you can screw straight into the wood. You can't do that with red iron, and Mr. Darrell talked extensively about lumber versus steel Monday. If you missed that video, I highly encourage you to check it out. It is a very educational topic, and we have a whole series on that, which will be on our YouTube channel as well. But that's just something I wanted to point out, a cool little function of post frame that not many people realize. Now here's to the outside. We have the double windows, again, the post protectors. There's those common flat trusses. You can see the flat pieces here, again, hence the name. It's going to be for the wings. Beautiful blue color. I love the white trim. And you can see both wings here, the roll-up door, one's on the other side. He opted to keep this wall bare, but that is obviously okay. You can see the elevation of the pad. Doesn't seem to have had the concrete just yet. Now moving on to Mr. Blaze's building. Unfortunately, his building was a couple years earlier. We did not have the company cam system. What we do have is a couple of cool finished photos, and we're gonna go ahead and show those here. But first, let's talk about the building specs. He has a 30 by 60 by 14 building. It has a 30 by 15 gable extension. As we mentioned, look, the continuation of the roof line, and it's just a seamless extension here for a little extra open space. In the future, he's more than happy to close in this if he wishes to, but oftentimes we have these overhangs and these gables and they just stay open because they're great for hanging out and just being a little extra cover. But the seamless continuation of not only the ridge line, but the roof is a beautiful part of these gables. He opted for a 4-on-12 roof pitch, and I'm not sure if you can tell. If you've watched long enough, you can. And then you're gonna have 5-foot truss spacing, the 6x6 post. He had the 10-foot spacing, which is standard. And then you're gonna have a 36-inch walk-through door, and you can see his two 10x10 roll-up doors. Now again, we don't have pictures of the build, but what we do have is, first off, his beautiful house and beautiful property. The old real estate agent in me is loving the property, and the architect nerd is enjoying everything about this house. But look how good the building fits in there. So it just goes to show these buildings can fit into any scenario. A little bit closer on the building, you can see the post protectors, even on the outside. And he also opted for the common flat trusses under his gable extension, as I mentioned, very common. Another view. And one more view. And this is going to be his building. I wish we had some in-progress pictures, but we do not. But it is overall a beautiful building. So that is Mr. Jerry, Mr. James, Mr. Joe, and Mr. Blaze and their buildings. Thank you so much for trusting Mallett and letting us be a part of your building process. Hopefully everything you've needed and wanted from this building you have received, and we'd love to hear an update on how it's treating you and what you're using it for, because we love being part of the process, not just during, but after. So that is going to be the highlight for today. Now, if you've already purchased a building like any of these 4 ambassadors, and you want to be involved in the Ambassador Club to have a chance to earn a little bit extra cash, yes, we have our referral program, but ambassadors are sent people as well and have more chances to earn money. If that interests you, comment ambassador and we'll send you as much information as we can. Now, the only precursor, you have to have a Mallett building. So if you don't, you should. Valentine's Day is coming up. It's be the perfect surprise present for your loved one. Trust me, it's the right move to make. Don't even ask them. Just do it. You don't have to talk to them. Just go do it. Trust me, this is dating advice. You should take it. But that being said, that is our show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tyler. If this video interested you or you know someone who it might help, please be sure to like and share it. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content here at Mallett, please be sure to follow the page and turn that notification bell on. We have a lot of new content coming every single day. I promise you're going to get a lot out of it. Thank you for joining us. This has been the week here at Mallett, and we will see you again on Monday.